book lovers, I am back with a book review for, wait for it, Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Oh yeah, this is the sequel to Obsidian. If you guys have not read this series yet, I really recommend you to pick it up because it is so good. And this is actually out of my type of genre for books to read. I normally read mostly contemporary. I'm trying to get more into the whole dystopian, paranormal, sci-fi genre. So yeah, anyway, so let's really get started. So first of all, let me just say I enjoyed this book a lot more than Obsidian. Obsidian was really good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but this book was even better. I was a little hesitant about this book because a lot of times if I read a sequel, usually the sequel is just either boring or not as good as the first book. But oh my gosh, this book was so much better than Obsidian. It really was. It was like less slow than Obsidian, but Obsidian was still really good. So anyway, if you guys haven't read Obsidian yet, I'm sure there's people out there who haven't read it. I will tell you what it's about.
So basically, Obsidian is about a 17-year-old girl named Katie who moves to West Virginia from Florida. She moves to a really small town. The town is so small, they don't even have like stores or anything, so they have to drive all the way to a town next to it to get their mail, to go shopping, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, she lives next door to she has these weird neighbors. So her mom wants her to like introduce herself to new neighbors. So she does. And there's these 2 siblings. One of them is a guy her age named David. And Damon is such a jerk. Well, in the first book, he's a huge jerk. Yeah, Damon's the biggest jerk of all. He is so mean to Katie, especially when they first meet. But he really develops as a character. And then his sister is Dee. Dee is such a great character. I love Dee so much. Honestly, I would love to be friends with Dee. She is just so cool. So anyway, Katie meets them, ends up sort of becoming friends with them, and then she finds out there's something different about them. This is not a spoiler because it is on the back of the book. So Katie finds out that Damon and Dee are aliens, and yeah. So basically the book's about her going to the school year, being friends with Dee, trying to get along with Damon, and like figuring out like just everything about them being aliens, like their powers and stuff like that. So what did I think about it? It was really good.
But anyway, let's just move on to Onyx. So anyway, I told you Onyx was so much better than Obsidian because, I don't know, I feel like more happens in this book. This book made me cry, made me happy. Oh my gosh, this book was so good. Such a great sequel, it really was. I loved Katie in this book, but I didn't hate her, it's just, she sort of made some dumb choices.
Like when she chose not to really be friends with her, to hang out with Dee anymore and her other friends. And also the guy Blake. Let's talk about Blake. Okay, let me just say this book was really predictable. I knew what was going to happen. So Blake comes into the picture. He is a new guy that moves to their town and goes to Katie's school. So Katie ends up becoming really close to him. She thinks he's such a great guy, and then Damon tells her that, oh, I don't like him, he's a bad guy. So what would you guys do if your friend, aka Damon, told you to stay away from that guy? Would you stay away? Yes. I would have listened to Damon. I would have stayed away from Blake, not been friends with him. I wouldn't have anything to do with him. Because it's just the right thing to do. Listen to Damon. I think Damon knows what he's talking about. So what does Katie do? She does the exact opposite. She chooses to be around Blake, to hang out with him, and also, this is kind of a spoiler, in the first book, Katie ends up sort of getting powers because Damon healed her. So anyway, Blake tells Katie that she is just like him. They're not aliens, they just have powers. So Blake tells Katie he can help her control her powers. And so she listens to Blake, and what do you guys think ends up happening? After him becoming close to Katie, she ends up in danger, and so is Damon and Dee. Also, this book also revolves around Damon trying to like find his brother to see if he's really dead or if that was just a lie and stuff like that. So anyway, she listens to Blake, and I told you it puts herself into danger, and it puts her friends into danger. And throughout the whole book, I was thinking, why didn't you listen to Damon? Why didn't you listen to him? It's so obvious. It's one of those books. It's one of those books where, let's say you have a guy friend, or let's say a boyfriend, who doesn't like this guy you're all of a sudden starting to hang out with. And it's not just because he's jealous. It's because your guy friend or boyfriend sees something in the guy that makes him not like the person. So they can see something that you can't see, and then the boy, your friend, ends up telling you to stay away from the guy. But in books, the main character never listens to the guy. Honestly, I would have listened to Damon. I think Damon knows what he's talking about. I mean, he's an alien. He has lots of experience and stuff like that. And also, like, I mean, come on. He's an alien. Listen to Damon. Damon's a good guy. Also, that's another thing. Damon really changed.
In this book, he is such a, I don't know. He just, like, in this book, he really did turn into a really great guy. In the first book, he was really mean, especially to Katie. But in this book, he's so much nicer to her. The relationship starts to develop a little bit more, and stuff like that. And they sort of realize their feelings for each other. Yeah, so anyway, like I said before, Katie was stupid and didn't listen to Damon, so it put her in danger. Yeah. So, anyway, what did I think of this book overall? I'll tell you, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. Made me cry. I said, I cried a little bit. I cried a little bit because
I thought Dee died on a certain part. And also because I almost cried when Blake made Katie tell Dee, oh, I can't be friends with you anymore. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. And also, that's another thing. When someone tells you you can't be friends with this person or stay away from that person, that's just mean. Like I understand Damon told her to stay away from him, but that was for a good cause. But if someone tells you not to be friends with someone you want to be friends with, don't listen to them. It's just mean. I would have, like, if it was me, if I was Katie, I would have been like, Blake, I'm done with you. I'm done hanging out with you. I want nothing to do with you anymore because you're telling me I can't hang out with Dee anymore. And if you guys read the book, you'll know Dee is the nicest person. I loved her so much. Such a great friend. I felt so bad for her when Katie went all distant on her. But, like, yeah, that part made me cry when Blake was like, oh, tell Dee you can't be friends with her anymore. And then Dee got emotional, and I felt so bad for her. Anyway, yeah.
this book was so good. I love Katie. I don't know if you guys have already heard me say that. I love Katie so much. She's one of the best main characters I have ever read in a book. I think it's because I can relate to her a lot. She's such a good person. She doesn't let anybody mess around with her, anybody give her crap, take advantage of her. And also, she's a book blogger. I love
that. She is a book blogger. I'm a book blogger. Like, that is just awesome. So, like, everything she was talking about, I completely understood, and I was so happy for her. I'm so glad she loves books. So, anyway, guys.
If you guys have not read the Lux series yet by Jennifer L. Armentrout, definitely get it. It took me so long to read this series. I wanted to read it for so long now after hearing all the hype. And let me just say, I definitely get the hype of this series. It is so good. Yeah. So anyway, guys, this book was amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. If you guys have read Obsidian and you didn't love it, or loved it anyway, definitely pick up Onyx. And I agree with other booktubers who said this series is very addicting. It is, oh my gosh, this series is really addicting. I really want to read the 3rd book, especially because this book ends on a cliffhanger. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to know what happens. Anyway, guys, that is my review. If you guys like this, please give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe for more. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching through this long review. I know it's a long time. I apologize. But yeah, guys. Yeah, stay tuned for more. I will be hopefully reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone and City of Fallen Angels soon. Maybe I will start those books today. Bye.